All nightlife businesses will be allowed to fully reopen from the 19th of April as COVID-19 restrictions ease. But there are still specific safe management measures to follow. These include patrons having to produce a negative antigen rapid test for visits to premises where there's dancing. The test will have to be supervised by an approved test provider and will be valid for 24 hours from the time of the result. This will mainly affect nightclubs and discotheques.
So I think we need to kind of work with authorities to find out how they want us to kind of monitor these ART tests. I think, honestly speaking, I think it's obviously a lot better than when in the past where you had to take a PCR test. But with an ART test, I think now that, with the kind of, you can actually do it remotely as well. I think there's a, possibility that it's not going to be as big a hassle as before.
A partygoer CNA spoke to say such tests will be troublesome, but understood the need for them.
I think that is reasonable, because although the restrictions has been laxed a bit, we still have to keep strong, don't want to fall back into the circuit breaker phase.
It's a preventive measure, but with that said, ART can only test up to I think a few days prior to the symptoms occurring. So I think it's not really a good estimate as well.
Other measures include the need to keep to group sizes of up to 10 fully vaccinated people, mandatory mask wearing indoors, and safe distancing of at least 1 meter when masks are removed. Capacity limits are at 75% for large settings with more than 1,000 people. Establishments like karaoke outlets that have remained closed for 2 years since the start of the pandemic welcome the news that they will be allowed to operate soon, even though some say they had not been roped into discussions with authorities.
It's just like a dream that after we have anticipate so much, and then we have expect so much that we can do a reopening, and finally it has just been announced. Oh yeah, we actually got the information from the media instead, and all the text messages have been fluxing in. We still need some clarifications and confirmations from the authorities.
For some nightlife establishments, the easing of measures came a little too late. The Singapore Nightlife Business Association says about 450 of such businesses had applied for an exit grant last year.
It is definitely sad, but we all have to do what we do to pivot out of it, or maybe re-enter if any operator wishes to do so. And SMBA will want to facilitate that with the new SMM in place. But for the industry, I guess it's a fresh breath of life. We are excited to see what's the new normal and how maybe even new operators, new concepts can come in to revitalize and professionalize this whole industry as a whole.